I'm grateful for my friendship with John Bramson, because that's like a really good friend of mine, and I met him through church. And we go thrifting, we hang out a lot. How you doing, bro? Titans shirt, cool. Let's see, I'm grateful for JT, always supporting me and backing me up. JT is signing off on a lot of stuff for my college recs and also a job. Grateful for the time I've spent serving church. Even though I don't serve directly with church, I work with the Y. And so through that, I was able to help the church out on some fronts. Grateful for every Sunday I showed up, because 80% of anything showing up. So I try to do my best. That's word to my dad.
Well, I'm grateful for everything about my time at Crosspoint, like the relationship that I've made with my friends and my leaders, but also, most importantly, I'm grateful for the relationship that I've built with Jesus, because before coming here, that's not really something that I thought I needed. Like, I believed in God, but when Bailey texted me and was like, do you want to come to church with me tonight? I thought that was just going to be like a fun little time, but I didn't realize how greatly that would impact my life, and that I felt like I needed to keep coming here and to keep learning. And now my relationship with Jesus is something that I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life, and it's just brought so much love into my life. So I'm extremely grateful for that.
I am grateful that Crosspoint was a safe place to grow with people who love and support me.
I would say I'm grateful for the community that we've built, and having like a safe space to come to every week that feels like a reset for my week. Having like time to fully like be with the best people on Sunday night and like kind of reset my mind for the upcoming week. Like, I notice the difference in my weeks when I come on Sunday night and when I don't, and it's just the best like community.
I am grateful for the adults that I've grown up with in my life at Crosspoint, that I've met through like my family or just one-on-one interactions. Something that that really stuck with me in Jackson was that family that we met, and the man was talking about how important it is for kids and teenagers to grow up with adults that are really good role models for especially teens. And that was like something that like really stuck with me, that I'm very thankful for, that Crosspoint has given me. It's just like a bunch of role models that I look up to.
Something I'm grateful for at Crosspoint is my time with my life group, my community, specifically Jesse and Noah and Carter when he was here. I always really loved, going down for a life group and getting that room and getting like a basketball team to play with and just having the strangest conversations. Some of them about God, most of them not. And it made everything so much better. It made my week better. And so I'm really appreciative for the time I got to spend with them.
I am grateful for the friends that I've made, because now they're my best friends in the whole wide world. I'm also grateful for the mentors that I've gained through life group, and then just through other adults in the congregation, and then the lessons that we learn in church and how I can apply them to my everyday life. So.
I think I've learned how to interact with people better. I think when you're forced in a small group with people who have a like-minded goal, it's easier to connect with them. I've learned that through organizations such as church, Boy Scouts and whatever. So I think that's a great lesson, right? Lesson I've learned. I've learned how to grow my faith, of course. That's church.
A value that I've learned from my time at Crosspoint is just having a sense of community. When I came here, I had my school friends and my dance friends, but having a separate community of people that don't do school with me and don't do dance with me, I just always could come here and go to small group and feel like I can talk to them about literally anything, and they'll listen and give advice and just like be a great support system. And now like going to college, I've signed up for a bunch of different email lists for different church ministries and things like that, and not just, you know, to go and learn about Jesus, but also just to have a different community of people that I know are not going to judge me and support me no matter what.
Through being at Crosspoint, I have learned that showing up matters, and being a consistent person in someone's life is more important than you think it is. Like, you don't think just being there is important, but you can see it. Like with my 2-year-olds, I see it in their faces when I see them and they walk up, or like with JT always being there, like showing up actually matters to people.
There's a lot of value in how open everyone is with each other here. Like, there's not a lot of judgment, and I feel like I love to bring a bunch of people to church. It's like my thing. I like to bring in new people, and everyone's always so shocked about how, like, it really does make a difference on, like, your high school experience, I guess. Just because people are just kind. It's so simple, but it does so much for a high schooler, because high school is such, like, an awkward, hard time that a lot of people find, like it takes a lot of stress off, just, like, having a space like this. So I would just say, like, simply how kind everyone is.
One thing that I've learned at Crosspoint is the value of volunteer work. It's like really something that's changed my life, and I've been volunteering with the same group of kids that are in 5th grade now, but when I started, they were starting their 3rd grade year. And honestly, like, seeing them every Sunday is like the highlight of my week, and I just like look forward to seeing them every week and hearing about like how they're doing and like where they're at, and just like they have really shown me like what God's love looks like, and they teach me so much more than I could possibly teach them. And I feel like that's something that I definitely want to take into the rest of my life, is just like finding something that I'm really passionate about and like volunteering in that way, or like finding ways to get involved with things that like I'm called to, or like I'm led towards.
I don't know if there's so much as like a value in my life that I've taken from here, but I think the importance of like Christian community, I guess that could be a value. I think before I came to Crosspoint, my youth group at my home church wasn't something I wanted to go to anymore. And so I didn't really have a youth group or have youth to engage in Christian community with. And I think that's something I was definitely missing, and something that's really important. It's something I kind of neglect sometimes. So I think it's so important. It's something that Crosspoint's taught me, just because of how wonderful this community is and how much I enjoyed my time here. So I think pursuing that going forward is something I really want to keep doing.
I think that the inclusivity and the welcome aspect of Crosspoint is something that I'll carry into my adult life, because the world is just such a cruel and mean place sometimes, and people always want to feel like they're welcome, and so that's probably my little value.
Oh boy. When I first showed up, when I first showed up, I was the only sophomore boy, and so Steve was my leader. And the first time I showed up, we were playing football out there, because back in those days it was COVID time, so we had to be outside, and we were playing football. And I think I was guarding Steve, or Steve was like around me, and he was running, he caught the ball, and then he like broke his ankle, and that was like really bad. I was like, whoa, I didn't know church was so hardcore. So, and then it wasn't Amazing Race, it was Scavenger Hunt. I was like in a bathtub at some point, like getting water all over me. We were like running around Durham doing stuff. I went to like Noah's apartment, just doing stuff. We were just going all over the city, it was crazy. Another one was there was Olympics at one point. It was like Fruit Olympics or whatever, and I don't know if the people who are gonna see this probably know him, they probably don't, but Owen was there. Owen was like a role model to me. Like, people look up to me now. When I was a sophomore, I was looking up to Owen, you know, because he was like the coolest dude. Like, he was interested in all the same music and everything, and like he would like drag me around doing Olympics because I was on his team, and like we were doing this like grape toss thing I'd like toss grapes into his mouth, and we were like pros. And that was like, I don't know, that's like a core memory for some reason. I don't know why, but there was like a lot of like interesting stuff that went on in church. Because, you know, like, I go to other churches occasionally. Like, I go to John's church sometimes, it's Presbyterian, and they don't do nothing like what we do here at Crosspoint. Like, we'll be up there, and like for some reason, like Darby's mashing bananas on like a tart for some reason as like a challenge. It'll be like such a like culture shock almost. So that's what I like about Crosspoint.
Some of my favorite memories are the different retreats that I went on. I went on the beach retreat in 2023 and then the winter retreat in 2024, which were both just really good times, just getting able to spend time with my friends in the mountains and at the beach. But also, during those times, I don't think I've ever felt more connected to God, just being in nature, both times in the beach and in the mountains. You could like feel God's presence in both places, and when we were singing worship songs, you could just really feel it, and it was such a great feeling.
I have many, many favorite memories, but to list a few, I think all the kids' spaces at Kids Point, they've just made growing up super fun, and it's been a fun place to make friends and grow. And then sixth grade middle school retreat was really special because it rained the whole time, but we made the most of it and like still had fun, and like we like sang songs about it raining and like just really bonded as like a life group together. We played Mafia. It was really scary. And then for high school, it's definitely all the worship on the trips, just like coming together, worshiping together. And then life group over COVID was really bonding because it was like we were all sad and we all didn't want to be alone, so we like found a place to be together.
So, like, some of the different things I've gotten to do, like helping out with social media, and then like being able to help volunteer in middle school. And you know, something that it's kind of scary, like first coming here, like I could imagine if you haven't been like me and been here your entire life, but I love being like looking at a middle schooler and being like, no, like come to this event, because it seems so silly, like throwing like colored powder at each other, or like, I don't know, eating food and watching a show like with people you don't know. It seems so silly, but like if you stick with it, it'll really help you in the next couple of years. And so it's just kind of fun to get to watch other people, like the younger kids, start on it, because it just meant so much to me. And I hope like everyone gets the same experience that I did, because I found a good group of people.
One of my favorite memories at Cross Point is going on the beach retreat my junior year, because that's when we really got to know Noelle really well. I really appreciated her presence like in my life every week, and being able to grow like that relationship with her that started out, like I would say, pretty funny in our car ride to the beach. So we're driving to the beach, and this is the first time we had really spent a lot of quality time with Noelle. And I feel like road trips have a way of bonding people in a way that not many other forms of transportation do. We're going to the beach, and we are sitting 3 in a row in the back seat, so it's somewhat squished, and we're having a really good time, listening to really good music. And Bailey had brought this like pound of chocolate, so she's like eating it or whatever, but like, you know, we're in this car for like 4 hours, okay? So we're sitting like just like right next to each other, okay? And as the night goes on, the sun's setting, it's getting super dark, we're just like vibing because the music's really good. And I put my hand like just down, and I like, something brown comes off my hand, and I immediately jump to Bailey like, what? If we needed to stop for the bathroom. But I don't want to like embarrass her or anything. So this was our first time meeting Noelle, like, for a long period of time. And I thought that we had, like, soiled her car, literally. So it's a dark road. We're already, like, somewhat, like, behind, and Noelle's trying to drive the car, and I'm just like, I need napkins. because okay. And I'm like, I need napkins right now because it had been on my leg. And I was like, okay, Bailey. So Noelle's trying to drive the car. Anna Kay is digging through her glove box, which is just not something that you usually do with somebody that you don't know very well. And she's trying to find napkins, and Noelle's like, just keep looking for them in there. So we stop at the gas station that we can find in the middle of nowhere, and we run in, and there's just brown all over. We stop at a random gas station in the middle of nowhere, and there's just brown all over mine and Bailey's legs. And eventually she's like, Darby, it's chocolate. And I was like, I understand that now, but I really just wasn't sure. Then we go into the bathroom, get it wiped up, and then we made it safely to the beach retreat, and it was a really fun time.
There's a lot of favorite memories. Winning the scavenger hunt, not Amazing Race, because definitely didn't win that one, but scavenger hunt, won that with my group, and that was a great time. Demolished every other team, wasn't even close. All the beach retreat was so fun, ice skating, winter retreat, and really just every Sunday was always fun. It was fun to come here and spend time with the people I love. So every moment was a great moment, but specifically those were a couple of the highlights for sure.
So many. My Sunday morning hugs with Jen Donnelly are some of my favorite things in the whole world. Winter retreat is always fun. The worship upstairs and downstairs, so much fun. I love. Oh, talks with JT and Corinne after rhythm is my favorite thing in the whole world. It's so much fun. I love it.
Shout out Jeff and Doug, because they were awesome leaders growing up. And then when I got back here, shout out Steve and Javier, my boys. But then I transferred to the older group once we actually got members. So shout out Noah, that's my dog. Shout out my parents, of course, that's like obligatory. Because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. Shout out JT, what's your name, Sarah? Mm-hmm. Shout out Sarah. Shout out John Bramson, that's my boy. Shout out Carter. Shout out Max and Abed. I work at the Y, and I'll come over here and they'll be doing janitorial stuff, and I'll help them all the time, and they help me. So shout out Max and Ahmed. They don't get enough love, I don't think, because they're always here. They're always running stuff. They're always setting up. Shout out myself for getting out of bed this morning.
Well, to my friends at Crosspoint, I would just like to say thank you for welcoming me with open arms when I came in the middle of the year, and I didn't really know anybody except for Bailey. They really welcomed me, and I became a part of their group here. And I remember there was one time, it was one of my first times ever being here. We were sitting right here and we were just talking after small group, and Anna Kay looks at me and she goes, "You're so pretty." And I was just like, you guys are the nicest people I have ever met. And every time I see Eliza, she's like, "I just love Emma." And I'm like, you guys, I just love them so much. And they are really some of the nicest people I've ever met. And I think that's because of them being here and because of what you have taught them. So also thank you for always creating great sermons that have taught me something new that I value every single week. And thank you to my leaders for also just being great role models, and again, like I said before, giving me a support system and a sense of community.
So to the people at Crosspoint, I just want to say thank you for helping me grow into the person I am today, and thank you for making church such a blessing and such a positive environment where you can come as you are and just be there. You don't have to be deep rooted in your faith. You don't even have to be a Christian, but you can just come, be at Crosspoint, and just grow into who you are.
not like stay in touch, as silly as it sounds, but like to try to remember how much fun we've had the last couple of years and try to stay a part of the community and keep doing things that remind us of the time in high school ministry. And thanks, obviously.
I am very thankful for my life group leaders, Noelle and Jonna, for being amazing role models in my life and always being there for me no matter what, and just like consistently showing up for me no matter like what's going on. It could be like a great week, it could be not so great week, and they show up no matter what. And I feel like having that routine is something that I really appreciate, and like something that I can look forward to, and just having their wisdom and like knowing that they've done this before, and just they are always, and they are some of the most humble people I know. They are always there just to like listen, and I feel like that's something that's very helpful through middle school and high school, just having somebody that will listen and support you no matter what. I am also very thankful for some of the staff on Cross Point for being a second family, that have worked with my dad for a long time, and that I've built relationships with, which so I'm super thankful for. I'm also super thankful for Olivia, who was my small group leader when I was in elementary school, and just being a small group leader now, I appreciate her even more. And I am also very appreciative of JT and Corinne. I really enjoy our talks after church, and they're very special to me. Very grateful for my life group that I've become. They're my best friends, and just growing up with them and learning more and more about like God from them, and knowing that they will have my back no matter how far we go.
Just a giant thank you, for sure. I think, so many people have had such a huge impact on my life, and they've shaped the person that I am into someone I'm proud of, and I really, I love the way that they've supported me and been there for me and taught me. Specifically like Noah is just about the goofiest leader you can get, and he's awesome, and I really hope to lead with him next year, which would be so fun. But I'm so grateful for the way that like no matter what, even when he's being completely unserious, he always cares about like what's going on in your life and what's happening for you, and wants to be there for you. And you as well, JT, you've been an amazing influence in my life. Always so supportive and so open to my questions. There are many of them, and you've always given me great answers that made me feel better about the topics I was worried about. And then everyone else, all the students, not just the ones that I'm close with, but everyone in that community were people I like trusted and could share with. And even the younger ones that I got a little bit closer with on beach retreat are ones that I'm still so grateful for, even though I didn't have as much time with them. So everyone, just thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Well, obviously Jonna and Noelle, because they're the best life group leaders on the face of the earth, and I'm obsessed with them, and they're so great and so fun. Dale, for being such a great worship leader, and he's our honorary senior girl. He always drives the best van, and I just get to be a part of it, and it's fantastic. Stephen Claybrook, for having the confidence in me that I didn't have when I started singing for adult worship. JT, for teaching me how to have confidence and how to accept a compliment even though I don't want to. And then my other moms, Miss Cece, Miss Kim, and Miss Lindsay, for raising my best friends.